Let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So, with I think we are almost 5 minutes done, past 4:30, so we can start. So again, once again, thank you all for all of you whoever is watching this webinar live. And I have got a lot many requests asking, saying that they have some meeting or something. And anyway, this meeting will be recorded and it will be there on the LinkedIn forever, so we can watch again. So let's go ahead. So I just want to start with the introduction of ourselves. So myself, Danadeepak Bhavani. I'm currently working as principal consultant, data and GTM space and data and the GTM space. So I take care of uh, solutioning and also part of the GTM efforts. And I'm so excited to work with ABIS and Dave and other colleagues here. So we are making something futuristic. I think I'm in the world of where if somebody you pull in from somebody who has developed or worked with Claude or ChatGPT or any other AI, they would have been excited that they are creating something revolutionary. I'm exactly in the same space and I'm having the same feeling. I'm grateful to have that feeling. And I will pass it over to David. Hey, Dave, would you mind introducing
Yes.
yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Dave. I'm self-made hustler for quite some time, I would say, but it is as it is. So hi, I'm the founder of ABIS and DBI. I created this project with a couple of other team members that helped me a lot on this way. So I want to thank all of them first, give credits to them before I put myself into the light. I'm basically the guy who connected all the dots and building the product. And right now it's exciting times ahead of us. Consulting is changing a lot. So we are also trying to adapt on this new market situation. Maybe you have heard about the big five consulting companies struggling with their business model. So we are on the way to create a new business model, and we are on the way to conquer the markets. Very exciting news that we will share over the next months with new partners, with new clients, with new use cases that we are doing. So yeah, stay tuned.
Super. Thank you so much, Dave. One more thing I could add about Dave is he is a technical geek. If you are from IT background, definitely you would
Thank
have
you.
found somebody in your team or across your project who is always looking into the space of bugs and making sure that they are fixed. So Dave
Yes.
is one of those kinds, and he's always thank God I'm not his keyboard, or else I would be like all over my face.
With the business, I have to still learn, but we are getting there.
Yeah. We are pretty much close, and so this, don't think we are just bullshitting here, guys. What we are trying to do is we are creating a completely new sector or new segment or new category in the consulting space, and especially on the Microsoft products or anything related to data. So the next 45 minutes, if you're stuck with this webinar, I think you will not regret this spending 1 hour time, and you will have a lot to learn. That's the least I can offer. But if you are from the consulting space, you have many more things. Or if you're a freelancer or a single hustler, definitely you have more to learn and more ways to collaborate with us or somebody else. So moving ahead. So I just want to take a few minutes to tell about ABIS, because we are going to use ABIS mostly to create this beautiful Power BI dashboard. So it's good to know about what ABIS is. So ABIS just stands for Artificial Business Intelligence Software, and so it's developed over 10 years. So it is not a AI product. Don't think that it came out of AI bubble. It existed pre-AI. So it needed AI to accelerate. That's all. But it's a pre-AI based product worked on to create a product which can understand BI professionals and their pains, how to, stop their pains of having large Excel sheets in 3, 2, 4, 5 monitors and then navigating through columns and rows and all those stuff. So, so here is the numbers. So we are in there for 10 years or more in the market, and we have delivered a lot of successful projects. And we are excited that ABIS has been part of those. And we are a big team of 24 plus professional team members managing this ABIS. And there is some other sister companies who are engaged with ABIS. So going further, so here are clients who trusted or trust us till now and who are really fascinated or excited to use ABIS on their systems and make their life a little more easy. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead. And from now on, I'll just keep my mouth shut mostly so that Dave can talk more technical and be helpful for you guys to make sure that you understand the whole journey of how to tackle the messy data and how to create DAX measures or whatever it is. I mean, like, you are from Power BI space, so you guys know your issues. So Dave is going to take you through a beautiful journey on giving us solutionings for each and every issue that we come across every day. So yes, so this is what we are trying to do today. So we are taking some sample data from Claude. So we asked Claude to give a sample data because, why not? We can do something. And since we are in the football fever, what we thought is like, instead of playing around with any of the messy data, we thought, okay, why not with a match data? Why not we create a simple dashboard for Football Manager? So, and since we are here in Germany and we are from here, so what we thought is, why don't we take the famous game of Brazil versus Germany, 2014 semifinals, and we wanted to create a single dashboard in 45 minutes, which will go in depth because it has a lot of unnamed columns or missing rows and missing data in the rows, etc., etc. But we want to see the clean and best possible use case of the dashboard. So we all know that, how much time do we take to create a typical dashboard using the Power BI? So starting from understanding the business logic from the business side and creating the data governance logics, because that's the major part when you're creating the Power BI slides or Power BI dashboards, and then creating the mockups, how the customer needs or how your manager wants, etc., etc. And the pain point of creating those semantic models. Creating, first of all, cleaning up the messy data spreadsheets and then working on creating those measures and DAX measures and getting there to star schema and then trying to create some dashboards, right? So for all this process, roughly we take, if it is a hard nut to crack, like a hard, messy data spreadsheet, I would say it easily takes 15 days for a good BI to produce a beautiful Power BI dashboard, which can be reused or which can be repurposed and which has a good insights that somebody can take good decisions on top of it. So if that is the real case, then how are we saying we can do in 60 minutes? And how did you believe that? That's the question. So everybody thinks that, okay, AI can do wonders. Yes, it can do. But where are the blockers? How AI can, overthrow you or overrule you in a lot many ways that you don't even see that is coming towards you. So that is where our focus is today. So yeah, so the next slide is like, what if this could be half? So we are not telling that we can take that 15 days work and put it in 60 minutes. But what we are trying to do is like 15 days to 5 days. That means we have made your work 1/3. My analyst is working only 1/3 effort to create the same dashboard that he has created 1 year ago, putting 15 days of work. So that is where we are putting our focus on. So that's where I just need to introduce ABIS. So ABIS is a product, as I said, it's an artificial business intelligence software. So basically, it is a collaborative governance and memory layer on top of any MCP server that turns systematic learning and shared knowledge. So basically what it does is it becomes the sandwich layer between your AI and the Power BI MCP server so that your semantic models can be built with trust rather than just believing that AI can do all the fun things and you can sit and relax. So I mean, like, I don't want to talk much about it. Maybe if we can see that, then we will have more chances of understanding what it is. So I will pass it on to Dave. So we'll start with the demo session. This is how we have literally planned our demo. So 5 to 10 minutes, we'll load the business rules and then project built up, and then we do the simulation run, and then the major and beautiful part of building that semantic model, and then finally creating the Power BI dashboard. So we will go through this phase by phase. If you have any doubts or anything, you can just come in there, and then we can come back to you at the later stages, and then we can have a great discussion at the end of the demo. So Dave, you can start your demo
Sure.
presentation. Thank you.
So yeah, the first case would be to load the rules. So every business has specific rules when it comes to meaning of the data, to semantics, to calculations, KPIs, and whatever. And I've spoken with a lot of data governance managers and head of BI departments, and they all told me the same story. They said, it's nice to use the AI, but we have a huge problem using AI. The problem is our data is not structured enough for AI. It's basically giving us the correct values, but maybe the column names are not normalized, standardized. Maybe it's misunderstanding the revenue with the different revenue calculations of KPIs. If you ask 3 departments, you get the same number, but slightly different. And I've been there, done that. I've seen that. One interesting example was one from one aviation company we worked with, and exactly that woman told me that they are discussing day over day, meetings over meetings, hours over hours with different departments who just work independently. Nobody knows what the other one is doing. Even if they sit in the next building or in the next office, they don't know what they are doing. And she had that case that she basically requested the data for a presentation for the board, and she received basically 3 different numbers, and she didn't know which one is now correct. So she had to go back to this department, and she found out, oh, they are calculating it this way. They put some filter here. The other one is putting it there, and so on and so on. So with AI, you basically enhance this problem if you don't fix that problem before. So it's so logical, so cheap to understand. I don't have to get deeper into that. So that's why we create this governance layer, because we want to solve this issue with the meaning. We want to create a contextual intelligence layer between the data sources that can be slightly different and maybe moving targets and so on, because databases are never asleep. They always advance. Somebody's working on something. So we cannot stop that. But we can build a stable intelligence layer between the LLM and the data sources. So this is basically what we are doing. And I will show you now exactly what this means. Let me share my screen. Deepak, can you see my screen with the white mountains?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, great. Then, first of all, I will show you the desktop application from ABIS, which is currently available only for chosen partners and for internal purposes. So it's not public yet. And yeah, we will get to this part later. But first of all, we have some beautiful workspaces here. I already have my productive projects where I can already have a lot of stuff that I worked on with it. So first we create a workspace. We just click here and we have a Power BI file that I already prepared. What I prepared here is basically just a theme for this dashboard, because inserting the theme in this run, makes no sense. So usually the best practice is to have a theme ready, to have your dashboard ready. It's totally blank. So if you want to check it, there's nothing in here, and we will see how this thing will evolve to a dashboard. So what we're going to do first is we will connect this local Power BI project file to this semantic layer by just creating this workspace. We call it soccer test. Then we just choose the model BIM file. Okay. So we have basically an empty report with just, the report itself and some page, which is blank. So there's nothing in there. So what we're going to do first is we will basically put the mockup into the meta files folder, which is a specialized folder for this workspace. It has security issues. If my MCP server can just go on any file system on this machine. So I scoped it. Basically, that's the idea of it. So I just go here, and then we go here. We just put the files there. So 3 files. Okay. Good. Then we go to the prompts that I already prepared. And the first step would be basically to add the business rules and the classifiers that are already prepared for this run. So usually in the future, we plan to create an enterprise server. So you as an employee, you can just subscribe to these rules that the company defines. Or if you have new rules and new classifiers, new logic that you want to deploy, you can deploy it to the enterprise server and push it to this central repository where it can be reviewed and approved. We go through this. We create, just delete it here because it's a complete fresh project. And we use Sonnet. We put the rules here. And now we also go to the compliance module. So the compliance module is basically a set of rules, SOPs, blockers, classifiers, all of that stuff, which is basically the guardrails for the agent. So can imagine that if you use a wiki tool or something where you have all your definitions, how to do some stuff or how to name some columns or how to do some calculations. So this is basically the place where all the stuff of the rules and all of it comes in one place. And the nice thing about it is that it's basically executed in runtime. So when the agent is planning something, or if the agent is correcting something or coding something, it's always pre-checking against as a pre-flight, always checking against the rules. So it knows what to do and how to do it, that it complies with the company guidelines.
So, Dave, I have a question here
Yeah,
while
sure.
it's happening. So, the first step, what you're trying to do is you are trying to add some guardrails or governance rules for ABIS. Am I correct?
Yes.
So, I mean, like, why do you think like it's needed right now?
Interesting question. So basically, it's what I said before. So let's assume we have we are FC Bayern and we want to analyze this game, and we already have some dashboards and whatnot defined. So we have some way how to calculate, for example, the score of a rate of a player and whatnot. And all of this logic, we don't have to reinvent it again, because every department is again and again thinking about the same logic. In general, it's already available in a company. What I see most of the companies, the issue is that they don't speak with each other.
Uh-huh.
And and this basically gives you the ability to use the rules, the compliance of a different department who already has it defined.
Okay.
So you can basically don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you have to create a new dashboard, feel free to do it. If you want to bring it into production, if you want to bring it into the central IT, it's good to have a common understanding, because this is basically the groundwork that you need to do. And if you don't do it, agents will always hallucinate. They will always do something strange that will cause, again, a lot of meetings where people are confused. And as I told you before, we still get 3 results that are slightly different, but now the agent will give it to us.
If I am not from a soccer background, okay, let's assume I am from a healthcare background. How do you put this step as important step in your pipeline or in ABIS pipeline building? Why this step would be important?
So for the healthcare, it's quite easy, I can tell you. So for example, if you have compliance rules for GDPR or the new EU AI Act, you have certain stuff to be aware of, especially when you use AI for critical infrastructure topics, like, so for example, calculating a credit score of a person or doing some health analysis on your patient as a doctor in a hospital. You have to be aware of that there are certain rules that you have to apply when you do your analysis. And at the moment, when you're a doctor, you don't know how the EU-AI Act specifically defines how you analyze the patient's data in your Claude or in your Copilot. How will you know that? So that's why the rules are there because, and this is very interesting, I've created those rules for the Power BI sector, but I already have some partners I work with to create other rule packages for the GDPR stuff, for the EU AI Act stuff, for the GXP stuff in the pharmacy area, or banking. If you're a large bank, you have to also comply with BaFin. In Germany, we call it BaFin. And those rules are basically the secret sauce that you need to let your agent do the job well. Because imagine I had just this case with the hospital from the US. And I showed them a demo where I basically tried to, so I put the rules in there, the GDPR rules. Then I tried to get the patient's information through Claude because I put an Excel into ABIS and it has all the data, but ABIS is sitting between the Claude and my data, which is highly confidential. And now the rules can guide me. What can I analyze? How can I analyze it? What can I not give to Claude? And this is basically the protection layer that we recently spoke about.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, so the rules are evolving one by one.
So we can consider these rules are something defined by product management teams in the product. So our expertise or SMEs especially from certain sector like banking or healthcare who define that this data cannot go out or this rule should be applied at any case in your Power BI dashboards.
Yes,
Something
exactly.
like that.
Or it can be a very ambitious Power BI developer who went through all the bugs, creating a beautiful sales report for the sales department and aligned it very well. Now we can upload the rules to the repository, and everybody who wants to create a sales report can use his methodology. So the numbers will be aligned, hopefully. I mean, it's
so
still...
I can say, then I could say that it has two completely different applications. One is to put the guardrails for the data, not to pass it on to AI. And the other one is to supply the rules, how it has to deal with the data.
Yes. And besides rules, we also have classifiers and blockers and SOPs. So SOPs are like, you can also call it skills in Claude. You can apply different skills. The SOP is basically more like a workflow definition, I would say. So it tells the agent you have to do this in this order to achieve this goal. For example, very simple, everybody knows it who works with Power BI in the Medallion architecture. You create a raw table. You just do it with the ELT, like you extract the data, you load the data, and then you transform the data. So you load the raw table into your Power BI file, and then from that raw table, you derive basically the dimensions that get a surrogate key and all of the technical stuff. And then after that, you create the fact table also from the raw, and then you join the dimensions to the fact table. So there are certain ways and orders how to do it. If the agent is not aware of that, he will just brute force away. You will always sit there day and night watching it, and you have to guide it like a baby. So that's why this SOPs will help businesses to basically push a button, go for coffee, come back the other day, check what the agent has done, and long running agent stuff, and basically enables you to work on 3-4 projects in parallel. This is what basically I'm trying to do now. So once I have this set up here, I can basically just switch the screens between different clients and control this flow, control that flow, push it here. I mean, you see we are not doing anything right now. So this one is just working by itself.
Beautiful.
Slowly. Okay, good. So now it should be almost done, 10 minutes.
So the step one is always in the using of ABIS or tools like ABIS. I mean, like I don't think so. There are some other tools like anywhere, but all I meant to say is,
I've not seen it so far.
yeah, all I want to say is like before just randomly throwing your Excel sheet or big large data set or lookalike data set into Claude and asking it to make a dashboard or get meaningful insights, it's always advisable to guide them properly, put the guardrails and put the SOPs, put the rules, put the blockers in first place, how you want your output.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And here you can already see it found some issues. So there's some there are some gaps between the mockup that you shared to me and the CSV that it has the data.
Okay.
So it already identified some bugs that says here's like, it has some gaps, what I see from here, external feed gap. Plus, we have some issue on the minute because there are some minute fields that have NA and this is not allowed, so it's not assigned, which means that there's some bad data in the CSV you shared me. We are now fully aware of that, but for now we just ignore it. We know that it's happening. And this is really good because we can not pull the bug through the complete dead end of the report and then fix it again and again, blow tokens and hours of time. So the agent is now worth it and we just build around it somehow and fix it later.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, right now the rules are in place. The understanding is there. What we're going to do now is the most fun part, what I love the most on this demo, is basically simulating the final product before we even created it, which sounds crazy, but it's very reasonable because imagine, I just run it before I just talk myself. Imagine you have this huge task and you want to create this dashboard and you start running into one direction. Then you have to go back. You have to reverse it. Then you have to go here again. Then you ship it. Then you test it. Then you see, oh, there's an issue. That's not what the client wants. So all of this iteration costs time and money. Money, because you need to blow token. I mean, token are getting more and more expensive. Not for a freelancer because he can afford €200 a month, I guess. But if you scale that up to a huge company with 200 employees working in the BI department, it can add up some numbers. So that's one point for simulating and planning. The other point is once you're simulated and plan the final product, you use less tokens, way less tokens. I shared it with you, Deepak, yesterday, where we saw that the simulation part in ABIS itself to simulate the model, to plan, to map out the model, only costs a fraction of creating it in the end. So everybody at the moment speaks about how to save token, how to save cost, and all of that stuff. And this is basically one USP that this workflow will bring you is if you simulate basically the product itself and test it in the simulation. I mean, everybody knows it from cars, right? You have, when you create a car, you can either test it in real life, but then you have to assemble the car. It costs a lot of money. Then you maybe have to change the parts. You use computer simulation to test the car. So why not use simulation to test the Power BI dashboard before creating it?
I mean, like, see, typically, if I'm a typical Power BI developer, do I have an option without ABIS doing this simulation?
Sure. I mean, how would I do it?
So something, guys, I mean, like, it's this question is not intended for Dave. I mean, like, the simple question is here, what I'm trying to put it forward is like, do we have option like
maybe on Miro? Maybe I have a Miro MCP server connected, and then I can let Miro map out the stuff. And create the lineage already up front. So this could be something where I can do it, but still, I mean, it's not versioned. I've not tried it, but I would instinctively say.
I have seen people writing lengthy posts about Power BI where they are trying to work on pen and paper or pencil and paper, doing the first mockups, etc., doing things. Yeah, there are some old age methods people are still trying that they are effective. I can agree and disagree, and people can agree and disagree. But when you have a simulator like this, why you have to still go back to the Stone Ages?
I mean, it's all integrated, that's for sure. So it's all in the same place. The rules are there, the graph is there, the complete lineage is there. You can run your thesis, you can run your assumptions, you can test it against the rules. So why not put it in one place? I mean, for me, it makes sense. It's more comfortable.
Absolutely.
But for sure, there are a lot of ways to do it.
Makes sense.
Okay, so let's see. We have a simulation. Great.
Beautiful.
So we have a projection of the planned model. Wow, I always love to watch that, man. It's because I'm a huge fan of simulation, and a lot of people don't use AI for simulation. I don't get it. Why?
Uh-huh.
I mean, makes so much sense. So let's go to the next step. Where is it? Now we create a technical plan from
Uh-huh.
this simulation.
Uh-huh.
I think for me, it looks reasonable.
Okay.
We have the columns, we have the measures, there's some filter, I like it.
So can I say that you have a reasonable semantic model here in front of you?
I would say it's,
Free
I would
semantic.
now say it's okay, but I let the agent test it. And then we will see. But from the first side, there's
Okay.
a visual, which is key performers. It uses some column, which is details,
Mm-hmm.
and some column, which is player. It's
So I mean, like, I see that you have connected ABIS to Claude, and then it is working for you to create the test simulations and all that stuff. My simple, basic flatline question as a client, or as a customer, or as a user, or anybody. Now, did you draw a line where AI can see the raw data from the data that you have connected to ABIS?
yes. So Um, for example, if you have an Excel file or a
Uh-huh,
CSV file,
uh-huh,
you would usually dump it into the chat here, right? You don't care about it. And then you will ask the AI, hey, please analyze this, please do that, please create a Power Query for me or whatever, or a DAX formula. So this is one issue the industry currently is facing, and it's called shadow AI or shadow IT. Before it was shadow IT, now it's shadow AI, which means that employees of companies who are not aware about the criticality of some data, or they just basically don't care because they have fear of missing out, they just use their own ChatGPT and then push very confidential data that they even don't know that is confidential into the chat of a private account, and then basically it lands in OpenAI. OpenAI is very happy about it because, as everybody knows, they want to go into the business area like Claude successfully doing to build AGI for enterprise. And yeah, I mean, why do that? I would not do that. I did that before.
okay.
And then I reflected on it and I was like, oh my God, this, I cannot do it that way. So at the moment, I don't want to make commercials for Claude, but I was one of the early adopters who's shifted. Right now, I'm not using ChatGPT anymore, only for some research or some marketing stuff. But honestly, it's about trust. And when you put all your data in here, it's in the cloud, it's there. It's stored locally, yes, in a bucket in Claude, but Claude has the full capability of accessing this data. And honestly, I don't want it to access this data if I cannot control it later on. So
Absolutely.
that's why we create a layer where we say, okay, we put the files only on the disk. Claude cannot access it on the disk without highly granted permissions and stuff like that. So why not load the model itself, like an Excel file, into this graph or into this context database, and then just put some guardrails on top of it, so the agent cannot access critical fields that are not allowed to be accessed by it. So yes.
Okay. Okay. Oh, so it's
Good.
cooperating with that.
So the simulation is almost completed.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's basically the last part of the simulation where I can control the dashboard, how it will look like in the end. I think it's okay. Just one dashboard for now. I can now send this to the client.
Yeah.
So if the client wants to review it, if it's okay, or I just print it out and make my notes on it, change a little bit here and there. And this is great alignment because the client can already see, okay, that's how it will look like. So we don't have to go back and forth, right? Which is always the pain in the ass for the developer, for the analyst, to have a moving target, to have changes on the scope.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Good. Now we derive the technical plan, and then we need to speed up a little bit.
So now, would you walk us through, like, what are you trying to do? I understand that you
Sorry.
have created the simulation model. Now you're trying to do something. Maybe You can tell us.
So yeah, basically we loaded the business rules, which took us a little bit more than 10 minutes, I would say. The project simulation, around 10 to 15 minutes. And now we basically test the simulation and create a technical plan, which is basically the blueprint of creating this Power BI semantic model.
Mhm,
And I've seen it so often. It makes so much sense, guys, to plan something before you build it, not just type in something and sit there hours and waste tokens. And while the sun is shining, play hard is not needed here. So you can play smart by just planning it. Go for coffee, come back, check it. I'm basically in this kind of lifestyle at the moment and I really enjoy it. I've been there before, hustling day and night. So and next step would be basically to test the simulation, to create a technical plan with all the codes. And then once this is done, we can basically execute it into the Power BI semantic model. Then we create our report and then we review everything and memorize.
mhm.
Maybe we create some rules that we can share with some colleagues because we have some findings. That's it. That's basically the perfect run of a 10 to 15 days
Work.
project to
Okay.
prepare, I would say. I mean, it's not perfect because in the end, you will see that the report itself
Mhm,
is not so pretty
mhm,
and it's not so easy to get it pretty. And my experience was that, of course, I will save some time for the semantic model and all of that stuff,
mhm.
but creating the report itself still needs human interaction and the eye, the aesthetic of a human. So it makes no sense to tell the agent, please move this box 7 pixel left, 7 pixel right. I mean, you just move it and
Okay,
it's there.
I got
So basically, this is what I've seen in the last project is that all of this base structure, I would call it, with the backend,
it.
I would
Mhm,
call it, is done faster, which is insane because the backend was always the hardest part, in my opinion. And now the efforts are shifting towards the front end. So you have much more time, much more flexibility to create a beautiful front end for your client, to create maybe some insights on top of it and stuff like that. So it gives it a complete new quality of consulting, basically.
makes sense.
And I always seen it if the dashboard is really nice and the people enjoy watching it. And it's really also from the design and from the colors, it's easy to understand. The UI is perfect. Then the product will be used. If it's boring dashboard with just standard design, yeah, everybody can do that.
Sure, sure. Okay.
So now it's planning the execution and then we will execute it fast.
Mhm, mhm.
I mean, we'll be a little bit over time. I would say 15 minutes max from now.
So, I mean, like, is this really important step in any of the Power BI developing lifecycle planning phase? I mean, like,
Yes.
how do you stress that, yes, guys, you need this? I mean, like, what happens if I don't have it, if I jump onto it? Simple.
So
I'm
my
like,
my experience was that you waste hours into the dark
mhm,
without even knowing if the client wants it, which is the baddest feeling when you develop something beautiful and you really love it and then you present it to someone and nobody understands it. So this is the first point. The second point is you might believe that what you did is good, um, but if someone else is challenging it, you will get some slap in your face
mhm,
and he will tell you, no, 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 you did something wrong, this and that. So for me, it's better to be secure, to be prepared. I love to be prepared. I don't want, what is it? Some stressful situations with colleagues or whatnot. And I don't want to do work anymore. It also comes with the seniority, I guess. I did a lot of this stuff before, so I created reports. Nobody looked at it. I have to be honest. I'm not a perfect
Yeah, I see
developer.
that every day because people are posting like they make 30
Yeah.
dashboards, nobody sees them, not even one or two are used in the business. So that's why I asked that question. I think if there are young analysts there out there, so yeah, this is where you stand. I mean, like plan before you do anything. And while planning, probably show the planning phase as well to your client if you're working as a consultant, or if you are working as a junior analyst, show it to your manager, get a consent, and then work on top of it. Just don't blindly go on top of it.
No, because I mean, you see the plan. What did it cost us to create this plan?
Absolutely.
We talked 20 minutes, I guess, something like that, or 25 minutes roundabout, or maybe half an hour. Let it be half an hour. It costs not so much compared to imagine sitting days, then checking in with your manager. Then he has a completely different understanding of it. You have to change everything. It's frustrating, and you don't have to be in that position. So that's what I always see from developers I work with. They are super motivated. They create something, and the most of the time is really the alignment part. Like
True.
aligning it 1 week later, you already forgot the bug that you had to fix. Then you create tickets for it. Then you create a user story. Then it takes 2 more weeks again for the client to review it. So all of this time is basically stretched to get a result. And when you can prototype very fast, because what we are doing here is we're prototyping a dashboard. It's not the final product, I would say, but it's very close to it. Because I've seen the numbers on the past tests, and it really hit exactly the same numbers like on the HTML, which I was quite impressed. So yeah, I mean, you can build something very fast. You can validate it with the users. You have to validate it, because if you just build something for yourself that nobody uses, the business can not profit from it. And
So
they always
now the step of execution, whatever you're trying to do there, I can consider that if I am a consultant, I went to my client and said, hey, this is what I have planned from your messy data set that you have shared. And this is what visually I can show you. And this is the simulation results, etc. Now, am I allowed to create the dashboard? So you are at the first step of creating those beautiful DAX measures or semantic model to create that dashboard. Am I correct?
Yes. And currently
Okay.
what we are looking at is basically it's on the way to create the columns and the tables that are now evolving. You see, we already create dim team. Dim team has a team ID, team name. Then we have the dim event type. We have the dim source confidence. We have the trust level, whatnot. You can cross-check with the simulation. It's going on its way. It's pretty cool. Yeah, there's something coming up. Good. We're on track. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the A team, but there's this guy who always has the team lead. I forgot his name. There. And he always says, I love when a plan works. So I don't say it right now. I will say it afterwards, but it's looking, well, it's looking okay. I mean, it's good, slowly, but steady. Okay. Fact table. Let's see the data model. Coming soon. And you see, while we are talking, I'm not doing anything in Power BI. I just watch it, honestly. And meanwhile, I can even watch a soccer game or eat something, which is cool. I love this kind of work. I love it. It's awesome. I mean, everybody should work like that. But the reality is daily meetings. Oh my God, it's insane. Insanity. And most of it is this alignment, basically, because companies have to align. It's for sure. It makes sense, but it's too much. It got too much. I mean, I remember the time when I started my career, there were no big offices, separated boxes like in the US. It was like door-to-door office. Then you have a long Mittagspause in Germany, we call it. Then in the Mittagspause, you meet other colleagues where you can connect with, where you can also share ideas, which was great. I worked in Infineon there. I really recommend Infineon. It's one of the greatest employees I've been so far. And yeah, I miss these times, because with Teams and all of this remote work got so much stressful. I mean, you cannot even go to toilet, to be honest, without your Teams ringing, which is sad. It takes away so much quality of your life. It's crazy. You don't have to do it if you do it smart. Okay, the tables are here. Now it's going to build the relationships. Yep. Context. That's good. Blah, blah, blah. Now the relationships. Measures. Good. My God. When I see that debugger, it always reminds me of the pain, not dragging it from there to there, but knowing what to drag from there to there. Oh man, to be referential integrity, here's an issue. What is that? Okay. Player, that's fine. Player ID, there's an issue. Okay, good. Anyway, fine. Control, check in. Okay, we have some connection to the dimension. Yes, it's coming from the event log, raw table. Perfect. Good. Okay, forgot to use the key player ID. Oh, there's a mismatch. Should have created an integer-based ID. I didn't check the plan well. For others, we have it. Hopefully. No, it just takes the text table. Okay. That's okay. Now writing all the measures at once as a batch. Fine. This looks good. Okay. Max generate series. Okay, this is some constants. We could have moved that also to the Power Query model itself. Okay, there's some validation numbers for validating the data. The dirty row counts. There's one issue. Okay, great. Nice. Most at the end. Shots. Good. Okay, last but not least, building the report.
So the full semantic model is
It's already there.
done?
Yes.
Created?
Mhm.
Like in 15 minutes?
Somehow 15 to 20 years. 25.
Okay. That's exciting.
Now we create the dashboard and then we are done. We can
Beautiful.
basically, the report, the dashboard itself will be very fast. It will not be pretty, I can promise it. And then comes basically the review of it, the testing of it. It's still a prototype. I mean, I already found some issues, you saw. I saw
Okay.
already some issues here. So what I would do now in if I work on this as a real project, I would correct it and say, hey, mate, you forgot to use surrogate integer keys, man. Is there a rule for it? If not, create it explicitly, plan it for each dimension table there that we have an integer, and then it will create the rules again, like on the first step what we did. And then I just type in heal compliance, and it will basically refactor this whole dashboard so it can be healed and compliant to proceed. So this is the power of this stuff. Like it's a loop. That's why this product is it's not perfect. I mean, one day there will be a perfect run. If you have all the rules, all of the learnings in this context, then you will have a perfect run overnight where you just go to sleep and the next day the dashboard is done or the migration is done.
Okay.
There will still be some hard time to get there, especially for large teams. But I see it already in my organization with Carl and me and Dominic that we are starting to align it, and we are slowly getting there. But it's still some pain. It will always be. So nothing comes for free. So maybe Deepak, to not wait for it too long, maybe you can proceed with your presentation, and in the end, I just show the dashboard.
Sure. Let me share, or yeah, you can do. I can share my screen.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Thank you. Okay. So guys, I think yes, we are a little overshooting because, as you know, we are working with AI. It is taking just 5-10 minutes extra than we have anticipated. So we are at the stage of building the Power BI semantic model. Once it is done, I think it's almost done there behind the screen where Dave is running the model. So it's just the creating report in Power BI. So those 2 steps are done. This is an optional step to verify and keep them memorize the whole process so that next time you don't do the same old steps again and again if you have to deal with a similar sort of data sets in future. So what we have really calculated from all this approach going back and forth with AI and working with LLMs or working alone as a Power BI developer or with ABIS. So this is the differentiators that we have found out. So understanding business logic with ABIS, with LLM, or you alone, you need 1 day because that's where your strong foundation will happen. and then you can quickly go through the next steps. And then next comes what alignment of data governance rules that you need. So that is where LLM is really scary. That's where we are really stressing things on. I mean, like if you just drag and drop your spreadsheet into LLM, then there is no governance at all. I mean, like you are giving your precious data or your company's data or your client's data to LLM. It gets trained. I mean, like, there is nothing wrong for you, but eventually the person who has been securing their business around it will have a loss, not directly or indirectly, but somewhere down the line, definitely. And apart from that, the government agencies like EU AI Act or any other HIPAA acts from USA, if you're working on a healthcare product, or some other rules will come into picture, and then we will have to pay the hefty fines for that. So that's where if you're working alone, you will set it, or if you're working with ABIS, it takes 4 hours. Then reporting theme design, this is kind of, I would say, if you have predefined, you don't need that 1 day as well or 2 hours. If you don't have, you have to build something from the scratch. This is the timeline. And then build the mockup, and finally semantic model. This is where things get really spicy. So for a person, a human being, to build this Power Query and star schema to understand data, and what are the measures, what are the different measures that he has to create, how effectively he can create that star schema model is where the real power of Power BI developer lies in. So if you have ABIS, we said the whole Power BI dashboard can be done in 60 minutes, but even with the intricate data sets that if you are working with ABIS, it'll take 60 minutes hard. Then you do the testing and debugging, which you need more time, like you're looking at, like you have seen that with Dave, working around for last 10-15 minutes, working with the AI and ABIS to make sure that it has the right measures in place so that it can create the right dashboards. So finally, bottom line is, with ABIS, it is 5 days. You alone, it is like 15 days to 20 days. So basically, we can do the job like the 30% effort of whatever you. Now, when it comes to data safety and compliance, that is where ABIS comes with a big, large hand or to help you out. So it is a local first architecture and fully audit trial. That means you can check who has done. It logs every effort that you put in and every effort that, or every chat or every moment that it receives and sends the signals to AI directly. And it is completely GDPR compliant. So you don't need to really worry about your data or EU AI Act. So it has been developed with the senior most guys who are working in the space on creating government compliant rules. So it's completely compliant. So we don't need to work. And most importantly, if you have a larger team, you can control the access. So access rights is enforced. So you don't need to really worry about. So now, what are we seeking from this webinar? Are like, yeah, we have spread some knowledge, of course, that you can do the Power BI dashboard in 60 minutes without any much more effort. But this is what we are really looking or really anticipating from a lot of partners or a lot of people around the DACH region or anywhere in the world as well. So if you are a small BI consultant or independent freelancer, so this is the path that we wanted you to take. So first, let's build a strategy. Let's see how we can accelerate using ABIS. If you believe that is possible, then let's do some sample projects and let's review some data governance and then have the ABIS certified partner status, which is really essential, and have the agreements in place and then do the business together and then grow together. So for all this, I would honestly say it all takes 1 cup of coffee time. If you are okay to have a great chat with me or Dave or somebody else from our team, we are always open. You can ping us on LinkedIn or write us an email or anything, and we'll be happy to connect with you and talk, see the possibility. Because right now, it's like FOMO, fear of missing out. So it's like if you are in 2000s, if you are not using computer, then definitely you have missed a lot. Similarly, AI has come into our lives and taken the jobs. And we are talking something beyond that where AI will go back and then humans will come back. But who are those humans that will come back and to replace AI? Who have mastered how to use AI? So that is the space where ABIS sits in. So we have kind of mastering how to acquire the supremacy over AI and to use to our advantage rather than let it go disadvantage for humans. So in all this space, if you have observed, we are not taking jobs away, either business analysts or data analysts or anybody or BI developer or anybody. We are giving a tool where their life can go little faster. So if you are thinking like, let's go back to an era where we don't have power drills. So you have to drill through with some equipments, or where you don't have power screw nuts where you can screw nut a wheel car using the power drills, etc. So we are that accelerator where we are trying to accelerate things in the space of Microsoft partners using Azure or using Power BI or any of the data lineage processes. So, Dave, you have anything to show? Ready? Can I come back to you? Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, it looks like the report is done.
Awesome.
Just have to wait to not stress it. It's very fragile. One
Sure.
wrong move and it will not work.
Then let me share my screen and then I
I
can.
can show it. It's done.
Oh, it's done?
So
Oh, okay. Super.
just reopen it.
After 1 hour of hard hustle, I would say,
Let's
hardworking
see
people really
how it
talking
looks
to each
like.
other. And there it is.
Not 100%, but
Yep. That's all.
uh, yeah. I'm quite self-critical on it, but the runs before were much worse. So it's okay. I mean, we have the title, we have the slicer, the filter, text. Here's some issues because it went crazy with some measures. I saw it before, so that's why it took so long. But it's easy to recorrect that. So 7-1 is the result. Germany, Brazil.
Lovely. No problems. So yeah. So all in all, guys, I'm like, this is quite possible for us. We can do it if we have a little more time. I would say maybe 10 more minutes. We could fix that
Yeah.
and come back, but we don't want to take more time from you guys. So this is where I stand, and this is why I ask for. And if you are an independent freelancer or somebody who wants to learn more about it, I'm sure. So this is where I will be open, or you can send me a LinkedIn connection request and then I can accept and then we can talk if you're completely watching it new, or if you're still in the call and observing, you can just use your phones to scan it and book a meeting directly with me. I have kept it open on from Monday to Thursday in the afternoons so that we can have a leisurely chat so that it doesn't disturb your daily workings in the mornings. So yes, I would wish to connect with a lot of people from the agencies, from the consulting side, to grow together and make this BI space more exciting rather than doing boring stuff. Yes? I hope I can stay here for 10 more seconds so that you can grab your phones, or you can just take a screenshot and use it with the Google to book a meeting with me. Or if we are already connected, you can send me a small message. Hey, Deepak, I found it exciting, or really, guys, you're boring. You can be brutal to us. No problem.